Good morning. It's a really great pleasure to be here. And just for curiosity to understand who are today persons in airport here, so please raise your hand who are from small and medium-sized companies. Okay, thank you. And please raise your hand who are from big companies. Okay, so almost 20 people. Okay, and startups, startup companies, newly born companies, not at all? At least one? Okay, thank you so much. Oh, two, very good. Okay, we are ready to continue. We have distinguished business people here in auditorium, but great, I would say, entrepreneurs here. We have Christian from Germany and Tiit from Estonia? Estonia, okay. So, because you have so many business branches in different countries, it's difficult to even understand where you're from. So, I have 3 questions for our panelists today. Number 1 question is, why companies need to grow? So, why it's important to grow. Second question is, how to grow? So, what is most best advice you can give for us? And finally, a recommendation for you. So, how to grow as fast as possible. So, let's start from the very first question. So, why companies need to grow? So, Christian, what is your take? Why companies need to grow? How quickly you actually growing in your company?
Well, I started the company at the end of 2008, and since then we pretty much doubled our revenue and also our employees every year, so over 100% per year on average. To now 21 million euros in turnover and 120 employees in a pretty short time. And yeah, why do companies need to grow? I mean, for us in the beginning as a startup, it was totally clear we needed some critical mass. We needed to be big for the business to make sense and to be profitable at some point. And I mean, in the world today, we've heard it in the introduction, the world around us is changing all the time, and everybody wants to progress. To keep up, you have to go, you have to do something, you have to change your business and your way of doing business, and also grow in the process.
So it's still 100% per year you are growing in terms of revenue, yes?
Well, we're slowing down a little bit with the size, but
roughly it's 100%.
Yes, roughly, yes.
So what about the audience? Please raise your hand if your company is growing 30% or more every year. Okay, so 15 companies. Okay, let me test you a little bit more. 10% and more? Okay, twice as that. Okay, and 100% a year. Any company? Oh, one company. Oh, good. Make a big applause. We have one company making 100% per year. Great. So, Tiit, what about you? How quickly you are growing and why companies need to grow?
Labas rytas. As there are always many faces for the company, and as our company is now celebrated last year 20 years of our company, then I would bring you such a metaphor of the red queen, actually. If you know the book Alice in Wonderland, then you know the metaphor that there was a red queen who ran fast, very fast, to stay at the spot where she was. And this is basically what is the basic rule of the evolution, actually, that for the companies and also in the nature that you have to run fast to stay where you are. And if you are not fast enough, your competitors will take over your business. It's simple like that.
So, but how do you do it? I mean, I know you're already making acquisitions as well. So one way to grow for you is you're buying other companies.
Yeah, we can say that first, let's say, 10 plus years, we was like growing like organically. we just sold every year 30% more than the previous year. And we opened the new markets, and then again we expanded this way. But then we reached to the point where we were strong enough, and we took over some competitors. So it's kind of through the mergers and acquisitions.
So basically, if you wouldn't grow like that, most probably it would be you who would be acquired, actually.
Yes, this is, again, the Red Queen metaphor, that if you are one moment not taking over your competitor's business, then you will be taken over.
Yeah, so this is very much true. You probably know. So first of all, if you're not growing very fast, your competitors will hire your employees, since they take your customers, and finally they take your assets as well by acquiring you. But let's go back to your business model. So what is the business? Deep, behave yourself. What is a business? What are you doing? So you take old mobile phones, you make them new, but you do it in a massive scale and super innovative way. So what is actually you doing?
Yeah, what we do sounds very, very simple and very traditional at first, and to a certain extent that is. We buy back used mobile phones, so if you have an old mobile phone, an iPhone 3 or iPhone 5, you can sell it to us over our website. You'll get pretty good cash for it, just like as if you were selling it to a neighbor or a friend. And we then take it apart, we exchange the faulty parts, we put it back together, put it in a new box, and then we sell it as good as new. Same quality, a very high quality that we provide, which is also our USP. But still, we can sell this product for 30% cheaper than a new product. And well, it is a manufacturing business of sorts, and so we also have the same kinds of problems as any manufacturing business has. But we try to tackle them with a massive attention to digitalize every little aspect of our business. So traditionally, to be able to do our business, you would try to collect thousands of phones of the same model. Yeah? Then you would try to establish an idea of how many spare parts do I need for those thousands of phones? How many people do I need? And this whole process normally in a traditional manner would take months and weeks, and until then the prices of those phones would go down. You wouldn't know, a new model would come out, and then you wouldn't know what your profits are, and at the end of the day it would be an unprofitable business. What we do is instead, we do everything online. We buy from consumers online through our website. We generate a lot of data in this process, and so we can see what's happening on the website, what's going to happen next week in our factory. We know how many spare parts we need. We know how many people we need, and we can even make predictions over longer periods of time, because we really take a lot of attention to this data.
So basically, you are using mathematical algorithms to predict, understand how to price these refurbished mobile phones and sell it as like a new, basically.
Yeah, actually, until now, we've basically made it a little bit of a religion to look at every kind of data that we find around us. Yeah, for pricing, for example, we look at markets like eBay, Amazon, our competitors, the new business market, and all of these we take in a big data warehouse, and we analyze that for patterns and for trends and developments, and so we establish the prices for the used products. But we also use this data in our decision making and our day-to-day processes.
So your 100% of growth per year, it's not coming from these old mobile phones, but actually it comes from data. So you are kind of like a big data company, because you can really very precisely predict what kind of price you can apply for different audience. So let's see how many customers, potential customers, are in the audience. Do you have old mobile phone somewhere in your home, in your apartment? Please raise your hand. Oh, see, this is all your customers. Okay, it seems you can grow even more faster here in Lithuania. Okay, so let's talk about your business as well. You have a very, I would say, technical product. You have many patents around your product, but So what is the product actually? Why it's selling so nicely? Is it only about these patents, or you have some secret recipe like in Coca-Cola as well?
Actually, what we do, we ask people. So can I also ask, can you raise hand who have the window at the home?
You know, it's not a Tokyo, it's a Lithuania. So please raise your hand if you have window in your home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can you raise second hand if you have a door?
Door? Oh,
So most probably 30% of doors and windows are installed with help of the installation foam we produce in Tallinn.
So let's make a big applause for windows and doors.
So we produce and sell construction sealants, foams, silicons, acrylics, and so on. And if to ask how we grow or why we grow, then first of all, you need to follow your customer needs. And when we started, we made it very simple. You need right product, right time, right price, right place. It's so simple to deliver. But then we found that we need to expand to new markets. And here on the background, if we can say that our first market was actually Russia, and one of our company founders is the wrestler. And if he went to Russia and said that he has been wrestling with Karelin, which is the famous wrestler in Russia, it's a little bit like Virgilijus Alekna in Lithuania, or Sabonis, or some of those famous athletes. So this opened like the heart and the doors, and it was a very good contact for our sales pitch. So if we take another guy, you see here pretty scary, maybe makeup, but this is because we all belong to the Wolf Club, all employees, and this was made the poster picture actually for us. But this guy is the former football player, and if he went to Brazil, he got a lot of friends because he knew all the Brazil football players' biographies, the best goals they did, and best matches, and so on. And if you look the third guy, our sales manager, so
again wrestling, sumo wrestling, no?
No, actually this is not sumo, but he's just big. As you see, there is our secretary sitting in the bag next to him. So if he went to India, for example, so he was big there, so they recognized immediately, and then somehow he made a very quick contact there.
So he was noticed, yes?
He was noticed, yeah.
And probably if there's this kind of colleague sitting next to you in an airplane, it's very difficult to say no, yeah?
Yeah, in a way, yes. So actually, if there are some markets, for example, for us, Germany, where we are not very strongly present, then we can say that we didn't find the right person yet who actually can warm up the German customers' hearts.
Okay, so very interesting. I mean, look at these business people. He is really employing mathematician professor to make a big data analysis and say really hire superstars in order to grow in different markets. So very interesting kind of way to grow your business. But it seems it really works, both of you. So what is your takeaway? So what is the next country and next superstar you're gonna do?
Yeah, actually, there is one more slide, I think. Yeah. So as you have on tables this chart about the innovation engines, so we can say that we have used through the 20 years, time by time, always one of those engines. And one engine we can here point out is our brand. So first 10 years, our product, okay, maybe it's not very easy to see here, but we didn't use the one product brand name. There was many names. And 10 years ago, we decided to go to Penosil. This actually was before the last big financial crisis, and many our competitors actually suffered because of this recession and the financial crisis, especially those ones who didn't have the strong brand. So we had the strong brand, and now we are already generating the second generation of Penosil brand and even the third generation. So this spring we come out with the new concept, especially for the home users and the retail customers.
So, Christian, it seems for you it is kind of same story. You also use brand innovation very strongly because you operate also in different countries. So, what is your story? I mean, how can you use brand? I mean, not very big company, so 20 million euro operation, but still brand is kind of like a most important tool for you. So, how do you do it?
Yeah, for us, it's pretty important to always have the trust of the of our customers, and so we have developed a philosophy that we always want to speak the language of the customers, and we always want to be close to the customers. So when we went abroad to Spain, that was our first foreign market where we entered. We translated our brand from Wir kaufen's in Germany to Lo compramos in Spanish. And we also hired a Spanish local who would run our business, because we actually saw that to get the trust of the consumers, which is important for us, we also need to really understand them in a very deep way. And even the smartest person on earth, if you would tell him, okay, just go and think yourself into the hearts and minds of the consumers in that country, he would not be able to achieve that because he's not part of that culture. He's not living in the cultural context of that country. And so I think it was a pretty smart move to hire our Spanish colleague, who was really from gut feeling understanding our customers, and he could really change direction of our thinking a lot. And within a few months, actually, we made a very, very quick success in Spain. We were named the best company for selling used electronics in Spain, even though there were already competitors in place. We from zero to hero within just a few months, because we really had the insight what the people expect and what they want and how to talk to them.
So basically, your very clear recommendation would be build your own brand, and this helps your company to survive and grow like yourself.
Branding is a very, very important part in the marketing mix, or also in thinking innovatively. And there are different approaches. There are different businesses, and different approaches fit to different businesses. For example, the Penosil brand is very strong because it is one brand for a range of products, and it has a very clear image, and it is international. We have taken the other route of always adapting our brands to the local markets and always making it look like a new company a little bit. Yeah.
So, but it seems, Tiit, for you, actually branding, it's not only about different countries, but also about different customer segments. So why this is necessary? Can you explain?
Yeah, by the coincidence, I can say that actually for the third generation of the Penosil brand, we also hired the Spanish design agency. So they are good. But your question about the customer segments, so we clearly see that there are the, let's say, the home users of our products, which they get our products through the retail, like Senukai, like Ermitage.
So like a consumer space.
Yeah, consumer brand. Then there is the professional construction business brand, which we use the older Penosil. It's good for that. And then there is a different brand for the industrial users, which we actually got into our group through the acquisition of the Spanish company Olive. So we use the Olive brand name for the industrial products.
But it must be very expensive to come up with different brands for different customers. So you must make a lot of money from these brands, or what is the takeaway here?
Well, that is really the strategic question, that can we do that, what we do, and can we be as successful as we are without developing the brand and investing to the brand? So my answer is no, you can't do that. And you can't do the successful business without the branding. So you have to invest there.
So you have a big margin because of the brand.
This is, again, the very strategical business question, that there is always the pressure to the lower margins. And if we still want to move to that different direction to collect better margin from the market, then we need to have our own brand.
Christian, you said that among other things, addition to branding, it's very important you're digitalizing all aspects of your business. What do you mean by that? How can we digitalize our business if we do old mobile phones to new ones, or we manufacturing tables, or we do these speakers, or what do you mean by that?
Well, it is a buzzword, and so it means a lot of different things to many different people. And you really don't need a mathematics professor to get benefits from digitalizing your business. We, for example, we began very early to try to erase paper from our office, and especially from our business processes that we're running. Yeah, because paper always gets misplaced, dirty, it tears up, it becomes illegible, or it simply gets lost. And so we build our own business process, digital business process to run our business, so that we would always know where the products are and where the problems are, and that we could also make use of the data. And even in processes where we, for example, produce a presentation for a partner, a customer, or an investor, for example, we do that using Google Docs instead of the traditional way of sending around emails, because there we can collaborate really and work on the same file at the same time, and it massively shortens the time that we need to compose such a presentation.
So basically, what you're saying is, if you see paper in your office, so it might be already indications that you have like a gross problem, because you're dealing more paper and bureaucracies and really making business.
Yeah.
So let's see, any company, can you raise your hand if you don't have any paper in your office? Completely paperless office. Anyone? No? Okay. Give a big applause. It's a lot of challenge. Give a big applause for you. So we continue here. So it's a very good point. If you can digitalize your business in a way, so it already gives you some growth, and this is very good. But let's talk about these markets. So basically, how to select the markets, because I did a silly kind of joke for the intro that Estonia is another market, but actually in Baltic states, Lithuania is like a first market. But you don't even test products in Estonia. So you said even for testing Estonia is not enough. So what is your view? So what is a right size market to make business?
Quite many years we thought that we always test our new products in Estonia, and then we spread it to the other markets. But just about 5 years ago, we understood that Estonia is too small to test anything for the other markets. And then we recognized that most close to Estonia, the first market we can test something is actually Lithuania. So Lithuania is big enough, having multiple economical centers like Vilnius, Kaunas, Panevėžys, Klaipėda. But in Estonia, there is only Tallinn, one city, basically, and the national park around this one city. So basically, Lithuania is the first market to test new products. But as just to add to your digitalizing the processes, this is crucial for us because going to the new markets, we basically, first we always implement our enterprise resource planning system, which is basically in the cloud. And it means that the accounting and the warehouse and customer relationship, this is all in one system. And we can actually see from Tallinn what's happening in Portugal, what's happening in Romania, in different countries, even in Russia.
So your enterprise is in cloud?
Basically, yes.
Can you see papers in your office?
Unfortunately, too much, but this comes from the accounting regulations, and this is always painful to see if the accountants are just printing out the papers, which are actually in the cloud.
Okay, so let's wrap up. So what would be a very clear message or recommendation for our audience? How to grow very quickly our business? What would be number one recommendation, Christian, from you?
Well, for me, it would be look at every aspect of your business and see what you can digitalize to become faster, because this is one part of the growth equation, right? To be faster, and there are many opportunities. You can try to sell over the internet, e-commerce, and try to find new customers there. You can erase paper or make your business processes faster and smarter and increase your profit margins. Look at every little aspect, and it's many small things that add up to a lot of innovation and growth.
Thank you. So, Tiit, what is your recipe, your recommendation?
Well, I'm not repeating those important aspects what we went through already, but I would like maybe to add that we are more and more thinking and focusing for the customer experience. So how our customers actually feel and how useful our products are for them. So customer experience is probably for us the driver force for the next coming years.
I think this is very good to wrap up our panel here. Customer experience, number one, it's really helping you to grow. Christian put it in a different way. He said you have to speak in a same language as customers do. We talked about maybe you should also think about really hire some mathematician professor, as Christian is doing, because you still have a lot of data in your business and you can analyze this data, how to really sell even more. Or if you don't like this data and mathematician professors, you can hire a superstar. Probably office life will be much more colorful and help your business to grow as well. This is one way to really conquer new markets as well. But overall, build your own brand based on this experience and based on this data, and this brand will give you probably a profitability as same as for these guys and help your business to survive. So thank you so much, gentlemen. It was really a pleasure to have you in the panel. Thank you so much, and make a big applause for these brave entrepreneurs.
Thank you.